Welcome. I am Carissa Welton, the author of Beneath the Surface, and I am here to read you the story. And to get started with the beginning of the book, we start with the first page and acknowledge the illustrations are by Scale Up Animations. I go on to say that this is a work of science fiction. Names, characters, places, and incidents are either the product of the author's imagination or are used fictitiously. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, such as the Nkanka, is entirely coincidental. Copyright 2022 by Carissa Welton, illustrations by Scale Up Animations. All rights reserved. No part of this book may be reproduced or used in any manner without written permission of the copyright owner, except for the use of quotations in a book review. For more information, email carissawelton@gmail.com or go to www.carissawelton.com. First ebook edition published online on March 27th, 2022, ISBN number 978-1-4583-1861-9. So Beneath the Surface, Acknowledgements. I am incredibly fortunate to have had the support, guidance, and involvement of these stars in my universe. Shukwa Chung, Tanya Davies-Byrne, Nancy McCurry. Having the right people on your side is half the battle of writing a book, or doing anything, really. And I could not have done this without their support. The illustrations in this book are by Scale Up Animations, a premier media-based production company based in Uganda. Scale Up Animations produces specialized visual storytelling and character development through animation, comic books, and other published entertainment. Passionate about entrepreneurship, Scale Up Animations employs young refugees and change makers who seek to make the world a better place through creative design. So I'm just going to go on. If you want to reach Scale Up Animations, you can reach them at scaleupanimations@gmail.com. And now to the table of contents of Beneath the Surface. Chapter 1, Little Fish. Chapter 2, Nai-Nai's Hands. Chapter 3, The Purple Pearl. Chapter 4, Fertile Valley. Chapter 5, The Nkanka. And Chapter 6, Graduation. Chapter 7, The Ascent. So we're going to begin with the foreword. Perhaps this story began in my imagination as a child who grew up swimming in Michigan freshwater lakes, pretending to be a mermaid. In 2006, when I became a certified scuba diver off the coast of Nha Trang in Vietnam, that childhood fantasy became more vivid. Skip ahead a few dives around Asia and a decade of environmental protection work later to 2017, and that's when I finally started to craft this mini epic. My only aim was to share my delight and to satisfy my own curiosity in the strange beauty that makes up the majority of our blue planet. My goal for this tale is quite simple, really. Take as many young at heart readers as possible with me to explore and travel beneath the surface. Future generations inspired me to write this adventure series. There is a diverse set of research and evidence that early connections and intimate relationships to the world around us can be lifelong, improve the quality of our mental and physical health, which likely contributes to a deeper sense of environmental conscience and protectiveness. When I first learned this in 2007, I began developing various public art events to raise environmental awareness in Beijing. I always made sure to include as many interactions as possible with families or children in the classroom, both indoor and outdoor. Since writing like nature has always been a source of comfort and joy for me, developing a story for children to explore and inquire about their world around them really felt like an organic next step. After living nearly 3 years in Shenzhen, I began to outline the books for this series. Beneath the Surface is the first book in the series, taking place in Nanao County, a fishing village district just a bit north of Hong Kong, on the eastern Guangdong province. It seemed only natural for the story to begin right there, where I was living at the time. Many of the book's pages emanate from right there on the beach. At that time, I was teaching elementary school students. A few of my students had family ties to Nanao County, and I based the main character, Xing Xing. That's how you say it. Xing Xing. The X sound is a Xing. So Xing Xing. And I based my characters on them. I designed the tale largely from their perspective, based on their inquisitive nature and for brilliant kids like them. As a teacher, I thought of the story as a learning device. It was so easy to borrow from the rich tapestry of oceanic mythology Chinese culture already has to offer. I tried my best to celebrate and honor the original characters in this story, who are so central to traditional belief systems in that region of China. In addition to introducing readers to marine life in this region, I hope it might also introduce them to the local culture there too. In the wake of climate change, poverty, war, and the global pandemic, our world seems to cry out for deeper peace, love, and understanding. Ultimately, this series connects issues threatening our marine ecosystems and coastal communities around the globe. Just as the characters in the stories discover problems, they also explore solutions. This tale aims to erase the imaginary boundaries on our planet between land and sea. Readers are invited to flip their perspective and remove illusory borders and divisions. Of course, Beneath the Surface, like every story in my Blue Marble series, is a fictional adventure tale. However, each book explores the same very real fact. There is just one body of water that connects all life on Earth. I'll continue with the global impact. When I think of environmental protection, I'm not just thinking about plants and animals. I'm also thinking about the protection of children everywhere. Closer to home, I'm an aunt, and this year I became a great aunt. And so I also have concerns about what kind of future will be left for today's children. One of the most difficult parts of being an environmental educator I have come across in my 15 years of experience has been the anguish of telling children they've inherited 8 billion tons of plastic that we dumped into the ocean for them to clean up. What's worse, I have to apologize and explain how it all happened simply due to poor design and policies. So then I dare them to go out and do this and clean it up. And I do my best to stir up their natural state of creativity and determination. I remind them that viewing the future with despair is one of many options, and I roll up my sleeves and join them in the cleanup. Research has shown that more curiosity about the natural world can be somewhat of a cure-all for a variety of problems related to environmental degradation. Modern science is only confirming what so many of our ancestors have known. Environmental health and human health are inextricably intertwined. Imagine what kind of positive changes we might see, not just in the world, but in ourselves if more children valued environmental protection. Just imagine if they grew up to ensure it was a primary standard for society. Simply by taking more of an interest in marine life protection, reading this book and sharing it with your child or children, you might just help save the entire planet. So thank you. Ultimately, I hope this book and the materials developed for teachers and readers to dive deeper into the topic of marine life protection will change the world, one activity at a time. Every purchase you make goes towards providing free access to all the books and providing free access to the learning extension materials as well to my nonprofit partner, Jane Goodall's Roots and Shoots. The mission of Roots and Shoots is to empower young people to affect positive change in their communities. You can learn more about Roots and Shoots at www.rootsandshoots.org. That is the end of the global impact, and then the dedication is dedicated to everyone who remains young at heart. It's not always as easy as it seems. So chapter 1.